RedBlue JD. RedBlue JD.
KIGALI. So this time, it's just us. But hopefully, how you feel about coming back to Rwanda? The first time you were there, the first time you came, for those who didn't assist, you came for the Liberation Day, the Liberation Anniversary of Rwanda. Yeah, a very big event, very significant for the country. And Davido was the main star. He's here for the second time. How do you feel about going back to Kigali?
I always wanted to come back to Kigali. It's been like 4 years. I think since I last came, I had a great time. From when I got in the country. From when I got in the country to when I left, it was just an amazing time. I made so many friends. And even for me living here to I still connect with most people that I met when I was here. So Rwanda has always had a special place in my heart. And I can remember last time I came, after the concert, I also visited the presidential palace. And it was fun. It was a great time in my life. And I also, even growing up in college, I had so many Rwandan friends. So it's really nothing new to me. But I've always wanted to come back, but I had no reason to come back. But now I had a reason to come back. So.
Your music is played. I'm going to start with a soft question. I'm going to open the floor to all of you, but I'm going to start first. Davido, you said that you have always had a connection with Rwanda. It's the second time you came, you visited the whole place. Africa is being talked about, it's been looked at very much in terms of, we know what's going on in Nigeria and Hollywood, but the music of Nigeria is very shining to the world. Your music is contributing for the world to look at Africa in a different type of way. But now when we talk about within Africa, that conversation between the West and the East, those kind of collaboration, you as a forefront artist from West Africa in Nigeria, how do you see the evolution of the collaboration, the conversation between East African artists and West African artists?
I mean, I've always worked with East African artists. The first one I worked with was Diamond. We did a remix to one of his songs. And I don't even see why we should call ourselves West, East, South, North. We can't divide ourselves here because the outside, the Western world is so big. The Western world is so big. They are now accepting African music. I can tell you this for a fact. I have superstars calling for my sound, calling for my style. Do you understand? But I know that Africa is where I'm from. Do you understand? Any day I'd rather collaborate with an African artist than take my sound and go and give an artist that has made $30 million, $40 million. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you start saying West, East Africa, North, it makes it harder for everybody. Do you understand? When I go outside, I don't say I'm a Nigerian artist. I say I'm an African artist. I'm an Afrobeat artist, right? So the question of collaborating, when you start, collaboration should be natural. It shouldn't be something that somebody wakes up and has money and says, oh, I have a little bit of money now. I want to get Davido on the track. It shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? We should organize concerts. When you have concerts, don't only book Nigerian artists, don't only book Rwanda artists, book everybody. And we get to meet ourselves. Last time I was here, I met an artist called, if I'm correct, J. Poli, if I'm correct.
J. Poli, yes.
Last time I was here. Do you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know him before I came in. But I came and I met him. Do you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, once you start mixing the cultures and doing all of that, we even have to be like, oh, there's this artist that wants a collaboration or wants this. Everything should happen naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do for the collaboration.
So the first thing we need to do first in Africa.
Check it out. At the back, please, at the back. Can you pay attention, please?
The first thing we need to do as Africans is stop dividing. Don't say this artist from East Africa. We're all one, we're all the same Africa, we're all the same skin. So that's one thing we have to agree within ourselves before going out to the Western world. Because if you go out to the Western world and you're not organized, they will laugh at you. And that's the truth.
But there's something going on, I came to ask you this question. We are aware of a lot of West African musicians. Which type of East African musician from Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, is the public in Nigeria aware of? Is there some name that's come out when you go to Nigeria?
I mean, that's not for me to say. Me, I know the artists I know. I'm not going around Lagos asking different people. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? Every artist should work so hard that you're known on the whole continent. I started from a bedroom in Lekki. It's a place in Nigeria. I started from a bedroom in Lekki. And like I remember having 1,000 followers. Like I remember having 700 followers. Now I have about 7 million. It's not the hardest job in the world. I think that's the problem when people make it seem so hard. And I always say it's not hard. I slept and woke up every day and I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm not a magician. I can't tell you I'm the most talented in Africa. But right now I can tell you I'm the biggest in Africa.
You have a gift. You have a gift.
So it's not about this, that. The first thing we need to do is connect within ourselves here in Africa. Then when we go out as a team, they can't do it. You just watch Black Panther. You just watch Black Panther.
I watched it 3 times.
Africa, this is where it is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you for a fact. I can't mention names, but if I start to mention the names of people trying to tap into my sound and my music, it will amaze you. So that's how you know that in this Africa, that's all we need. We need ourselves. Like we don't need going outside or doing all that.
Amen to this.
I'm more excited about my African tour than my UK tour and my US tour. So that's
Davido. I've got 1,000 more questions to him, but we're going to do that in private. I'd like to open the floor to the journalists here, some member of the media. If you get so many questions, please raise up your hands and the microphone's going to come to you. When you get the mic,
I can't even count the amount of classic songs and hits and movements that have been produced since that time. So, I can promise you at least way over an hour of hits. And I came to celebrate, really. I came to celebrate. This tour is more like a celebration tour to me because I've done UK, sold out every city. I've done US, I did 24 cities in US, sold out. Then this is really like the finale of the whole 30 billion. And I'm happy that this is the finale, this is last because it's more of a celebration. I've gone around the world, I've done all of that, so I'm coming back home to celebrate with my people. That's how I look at it. I don't really look at it as, oh, I'm coming, I got paid, I'm coming to do a job, and I'm just
30 billion, man, come on.
Well, yeah, like I said, like this is more of a celebratory tour to me, so just coming in to have fun.
There's a question that side.
Thank you. My name is Rodriguez. I'm a content producer for the Rwanda National Television. And right now in South African newspapers, like online, I've checked like 8 hours ago, there is, it's that trending that you're having like a hit with Casper on your best, which has been like approved by the audience. I'll love you to like elaborate a little bit about it and if the 30 billion tour is
yeah, like I was saying, like
collaborating around.
Yeah, when I was talking about collaborations within different countries, like I said, Casper has been a friend to me for a while. Do you understand? Like he's come to Nigeria, he's been on shows. Like I always say, let things be natural. Let things be natural. Like even people ask me every day, oh, when are you and Whiskey going to drop a song? Like we just recently became cool again, but at least let it be natural. I don't think we should plan a studio session and be like, hey, let's go in the studio. We might make the worst music ever when you plan it. I've known Casper for over 3 years. We never got in the studio. Do you understand? But he came to Nigeria. He came to Nigeria for an award show, and I was like, yo, come to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So he came to the crib, and he was just vibing with everybody, and that's how the song came out. So it was like natural. It wasn't like planned. Like every time I plan something, it never goes well. So I don't even plan. I just go ahead with what I want to do, and whichever way God does it. But me and Casper song was, I can tell you, it was 100% natural, and it's gonna be a hit.
Natural. You like to go to do things organically. Yes, that's what you're saying. So we have a question here.
Thank you. I'm Jeanette Kawera from Nyarwanda.com. I have 2 questions for Davido. The first one is, as you have mentioned it, say that you are the biggest artist in Africa. and we would like to know by this time you are here in Rwanda, apart from Jepori, is there any other artist from Rwanda that you are aware of? If yes, who is that? And if you know at least one of his or her song, can you mention it?
Like I said, last time I came, I met Jepori. That's what I said. I didn't know him before I came, but I met him, and I became fond of him. Do you understand? So, right now, apart from Jepori, I'm not really brushed up, but I'm sure before I leave, I don't know.
The second question is, most of your songs are about romantic songs.
Yeah.
May we know if Davido is married or single?
I'm not legally married.
I've got many friends.
I'm not legally married, but we did.
Okay, Davido, welcome to Kigali once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Abraham Romanzi from Hope Magazine. I would like to get a professional opinion from you.
Okay.
When you look at the music industry in Africa, as we speak right now, what are the probabilities of an African to make a living out of music alone? You know the perception that, you know, music is a
look at me, man.
Yeah.
Look at me.
So, I would like to see what should be done. What should be done to improve? What do you think should be done to improve the industry right now? A professional opinion from you.
I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, one thing we can work on, of course, like in the Western world, of course, they sit at home and they get mails, they get checks to their mail every day, like radio play, royalties and stuff like that. I think one country that a little bit ahead of everybody when it comes to that is South Africa. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not complaining, but it could be better, of course, because people in the Western world, they don't know how to do shows. Like they sit at home and they get checks. But then, like I said, everything has to do with us first. So I feel like each country or each place has to sit down and analyze how people can get paid off other things apart from like shows and endorsements, which is like radio play and royalties. But I haven't come across that yet, so I can't answer your question. But we'll keep praying.
Congratulations, Mr. Davido. Your name is a blessing, you know. Having you, come back, and you are Pan-Africans. We are all Africans.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations. And then another comment before to raise a question. It's about, you become a friend with J. Polly. This is amazing, we have more. And my question is, how did you consider you now, as a Fela, the footprints, Fela Kuti, and comparing, I'm so falling in love with Aye, and substitute question is, what kind of your strategy, your future to collaborate with Rwandan musicians and to promote them, workshop, whatever?
Okay, the first thing you talk about Fela, right? Nobody can pass Fela for now, because the reason I say that, when Fela was alive, there was no Instagram, there was no Snapchat, there was nothing, no WhatsApp, no nothing. And for that, with no communication, for him to cross over and to be performing in front of different kind of races, that's amazing. Now we're cheating, we have Snapchat, we have internet, we have all these things. But when it comes to Fela, I think we should just leave Fela where he is. I don't think, except we go back in time. But as for Rwandan musicians, if I hear something I like today, I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't been the artist. Like, most collaborations I've done is when I've visited these countries. Most times I don't know the artists, I just get fond of them because you can't judge anybody. Like, you know, what if I did the song with Diamond? I didn't know Diamond when I did the song. But it ended up becoming one of my biggest collaborations I ever did till date. So if I hear something I like, if I like the person, I'm not good. Do you understand? Like, I'll do it. But like I said, I like my stuff just natural, like nothing planned, and Just how it is.
Organically. We're gonna close this session very soon. So we're gonna take again like 1 and 2 questions. Those one are programmed, so we're gonna go through them.
Mostly like your shoes. Maybe you're gonna talk on how expensive is it. That's right after. I'm a little bit interested in asking, as a big artist in Africa, what do you think about beefing between artists, like the issues you had here with your fellow musicians from Nigeria, to an extent of taking you to Twitter, and post some things which are not very good. How do you see beefing between artists? Is it a positive thing? Is it a negative thing? Then what would you advise your fellow musicians from Africa trying coming up? The last question is, during your interview with Go Global, you said that you're having a project with Cristiano Ronaldo. Did you start contacting him? How far have you gone with the project?
Okay, let me start from the beef, I believe beef, it depends. Like, my situation is past the music, but, I'm saying, when I have 2 children, do you understand? I'm not a kid anymore, I'm 25 years old. I'm not about to be arguing over, like, I promised myself, I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm not going to fight anybody. And when we're divided, it just makes it harder for everybody. Do you understand? So it just got to a point where me and my fellow musician were just like, yo, we're too old for this. Let's just put it behind us. Let's not even talk about it. Let's just move along and just do what we have to do. And I can tell you, like, when there's no beef or feud, just everything is just smooth. You don't need it. Just do your music and let God do the whole thing. With Cristiano, when I recorded my song, I don't watch soccer like that. I won't even lie to you. I don't really watch soccer. I'm not really a soccer fan. But when I did my song Fall, and then there was I think Fall just came out, and then I did a video with I think I put a clip of Cristiano playing with Fall playing in the background. Oh my God, call me Cristiano. And then I just woke up. Yo, my friend just called me, yo, I think Ronaldo just follows you on Instagram. I was like, how? And then I went to check, and then I checked my DMs and I saw Ronaldo. I was just like...
With the stars now, man.
Yeah, I was just like, he was like, yo, he says he liked the song and whatever. I was meant to go to Spain like 6 months ago, but I'm not the type of person, like, I don't like to like force myself to do stuff. Like, I was just like, when the time is right with me. So I think something is coming up to me.
Organically. So there's a question here. That's the last one. If you
now we're in that one called DMW, right?
Yeah.
Highlight us more about that. And another thing is you and Sony Music. How's the relationship between the two of you concerning your music, musically? And then lastly is by that time when you still singing Skelewu, remember when you started with Skelewu and Aye? I think HK that was not working good, so that it improved your music at this level. Like right now, we see you on another level, international level collabs are coming here and there. Thank you so much.
HK was a company that me and my brother found. What I did when I started HK, I was like 16, 17. We did our thing for a couple of years. But when I turned like 22, I felt like, yo, it's just time for everybody to just, get the business right. So I opened a new company as DMW. I have like 5 artists on it. You guys may know Miyoko, who's huge doing this thing. And with Sony Music, shout out to Sony Music, of course. When I first got the call about the deal and everything, it wasn't something I feel like I wanted to do because I didn't know much about the business. Because me, I'm used to just recording and just putting my stuff out. But you have to understand is when you join like a major corporation like Sony, like everything is organized and stuff like that. But my advice to other artists, like I'll tell you the truth, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing for you. My advice to other artists is build a solid team. Once you build a solid team and a solid foundation, then you can take it to the higher, ranks. But I mean, to each his own. You know, there are some people that tell you they love Sony, there's some people that tell you they don't, there's some people that tell you they love that video, there's some people that tell you they hate that video. So everybody is different for everybody. But I think once you're solidified with the team and whatsoever, I think it's something you might want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, in a year or two, this African music is gonna blow it out the park. I'm telling you.
I think we're gonna have to end now. Yes, we need to end now. Just maybe a last word, because I think this is important that we have Guy in the place and even Judo. In terms of artists, I think that there's a very hunger and a very thirst for knowledge on what to do.
RedBlue JD. RedBlue JD.